Welcome to the Library Show. This is the December episode, and as such, we're going to be highlighting holiday programs at our libraries. Well, they may not be identified as such, but they're very special. The first one is a program that's going to be at Gladwin Library, and the person who's hosting it is my good friend and former neighbor, Linda Dubin Garfield. Hi, Linda.
Hi, how you doing, Lenore?
Linda is doing this in her capacity as an art educator. She started Art Sisters, and she does a lot of programs. In fact, she's done other programs at the library. This one really has a unique aspect, so I'm going to ask you, Linda, to explain it to our audience.
So what I do, I was a counselor for 38 years, and now I'm the artist I always wanted to be for the last 20 years. And I combined the two by doing mixed media memoir workshops, where I bring in a lot of supplies and have the people create a image on a paper that describes whatever we made the topic for. So in December, we talk about your winter holiday memories, and you pick a favorite memory, good or bad, whatever you want, and you use the materials that are there and make an image. The date of the event is December 6th from 2 to 3 at the Gladwin Library, and you go to their website and sign up. Although people have just shown up and it's fine, you know.
Okay. I was thinking because there's an issue of supplies, you would want to know how many people are going to show up so you don't run out.
No, I always bring so much supplies, so there's never that many people.
Okay. Now, there's in addition to paper, are people going to be painting also?
I don't use any water, anything water that could spill, anything that needs to dry. So we use oil pastels, we use crayons, we use colored pencils. Those are the things for mark making. Magic markers, all different colors. But a lot of it is just fabulous papers that I've accumulated through the years. And people find things, you know, that work for, or that they are eyes, it appeals to them and they use it.
Okay, so people don't have to worry about wearing sort of art sloppy clothing because they might get them dirty.
No.
Okay, I was just picturing.
Clothes, right.
Okay, all right. It's not like tempera paints where they're going to get their fingers dirty and the floor dirty. Okay, all right. The other thing is they can bring anything they want. It can be Christmas related, it can be Hanukkah related, it can be Diwali related.
Or it could be a picture. A lot of times people bring pictures if it's about something that's related to the family or some place that they've been. So they'll bring a photo, or they sometimes bring like a memento that they got or something that they want to either copy or paste on that is theirs, you know, and they bring that to include. But I have so many things that people just a lot of times use what I bring.
When people do this, you said you don't use water, but you're using various media. Is it damp? Do they have to leave it at the library to dry and pick it up the next day, or can they take it home with them?
They take it home with them. Everybody takes home their thing. And at the end, it's about an hour. So about 45 minutes, they work on their things. And then I go around and I take a picture of them with their artwork, and they tell about it to the group. So people get to know each other and know things about each other because sometimes some of the people have been there several times.
Oh, I would think that they enjoy doing it with you when they come back. So that's a great compliment to you. Really. Yeah. And it's also, I think that a number of the adult activities, because children need to have their parents make social arrangements, are good for socializing. As we get older, it's nice to have the libraries as a means for socializing, meeting neighbors. I know that there are board games at Ludington, for example, and people come and they play board games and they get to meet people and they get social groups in these games, which is terrific.
Right.
You know, I think it's terrific.
And they do interact. It's nice. It is nice. And I think they enjoy it and come back. Like you said, it's true.
Now, you said that last month, that is November 15th, you also did something at another library. Was that the same kind of thing?
Yeah, it's also at Gladwin. I do it once a month at Gladwin. But I have done it at other places, like I'm doing it here. And I do it at other places as well.
Okay, now, Linda, maybe you could tell everybody what your website is, because there are people who might like what you're describing and like to track you and see what you're doing. I know you're very busy doing it, but it would be nice for people to have an opportunity to follow
So
you.
my website is lindadubingarfield.com. And I actually also have my artwork up at Gladwin Library this month until the 30th. And with another art sister, Priscilla Bolin, who also lives in the area. She's in.
Okay. I am not an art sister because I am not artistic at all. But tell us what you have to do to be an art sister.
Art Sisters started in 2006, I think it was, when I really started doing art as a profession. And it was very isolated. You're in your studio by yourself. So my girlfriend and I started it, Leslie DeBrocchi, and she was one of the only people I could talk to about art because she was an artist too. And now we have 25 members. We keep it around 25, and we help each other and we give to the community. Everything that we do benefits a nonprofit that helps children and women. And we have shows and we do art shares where people give their opinions and help people with their art. And we just try to donate. We donate art a lot to different communities.
And I'm assuming that not everybody does the same kind of paper art that you do.
There are a lot of painters, there's fabric artists, it's all different kinds of art.
Are there sculptors too? Are there people who are?
Well, sculptors, we had a few, and it's hard because a lot of the places that we go don't have room for sculpture to show. So they have to do wall things. If they do wall sculptures, then yeah, we have them.
Okay, I asked because David, my husband David, for those of you who may remember when David was on, had done sculptures, and sculptures take up more room in your house.
And a lot of places don't have room.
Okay.
Like the Gladwin Library, you can have an art show upstairs, but you can't put statues around because they have meetings and play groups and different things in that room.
Right, I get it. It's a wonderful library and it has a lot of things, but maybe not room for sculpture. So I get that. To me, this is one of those interesting things about you. Are one of the people I know who took your career, took what you'd learned as an educator, because when I first knew you, you were a teacher, and now you've taken that into art and art education at different levels and different kinds of folks, adult folks as opposed to kids. And I think it's terrific. So kudos to you for that.
I love it.
That's great.
It actually combines the counseling, the art, and also giving to charity. I always like to help nonprofits.
So. I remember walking down to your house and seeing you with a string across the backyard with all of your artwork across the string. And I thought, boy, this is a brilliant use of a backyard. Really, I mean, we do other things there. The kids play, you know, kickball, or you sitting out there, and Linda uses it as an art gallery, and there everything was. So that's very cool. I missed that. That was one of those nice things. All right. Well, I thank you very much. Happy holidays to you and to your family. And we'll be right back with more of The Library Show. Thank you. Well, during holiday time, people have memories. And our last part of the program, we talked about memories and how that can be translated into art. I looked at all the different things that our libraries are doing this month. And the other thing that struck me as particularly pertinent to our lives is food. And it turns out that Gwen Gatto, who is with us today, is doing a really neat food program. She's doing other things too. We'll get to those. But let's start with the food after all. We always like to start with the food. Hi, Gwen. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me, Lenore.
Well, tell us a little about this thing that caught my eye, and I thought, oh, how neat. Very creative of you, and it's not brand new. So you've been creative in the past and will be in the future, I'm sure. Tell us.
Well, actually, it started last summer. the former head librarian, Lizzie Barry, and I were trying to think of an adult program for summer reading. And we came up with, some doing a grab and go bag, because during the pandemic, we had done lots of grab and go bags for the kids. And we thought, oh, wouldn't this be fun to do one for adults during summer reading? Because usually the adults don't tend to come to the programs as often as say the kids would, because we understand that the adults are busy. So we came up with this idea of doing, like a food grab and go bag. So we would come up with a recipe, either based on a theme or a holiday or a particular cookbook. And we would try to find a recipe that had, maybe an interesting dry ingredient. And then we would add that dry ingredient. And then we would, obviously include the recipe, some kind of a fun fact sheet, a little sticker, and then, have people sign up for it, register for the program, and then pick it up. And then whenever they made the dish, they were supposed to take a picture, send it to me, and we would post it on our Facebook page. It was so popular that we decided to just continue doing it, and I've been doing it every month since then. So,
Wow.
yeah. So, for example, I'll just take one we did last winter. This is Nordic orange and ginger biscuits.
Ooh.
So you can see in the kit, I'll take everything out and show you individually. I had obviously the recipe, right? And this was from the book, what was it called here? Scandinavian, well, I'm gonna mess this up. Fika and Huga, Comforting Cakes and Bakes from Scandinavia with Love.
Oh
And
my.
then what we did is we did like a little fun fact sheet, give you some information about, oh, here, and it gives you the pronunciation. Huga. It's Huga.
Okay, Huga. I
I
like
just
that. I
learned
like the way
that
you did
one.
the artwork all around it too, to give it a Scandinavian feel. Cool.
Yes. And then we included the dry ingredient, which I will go back to the recipe. And this one was cardamom. So, I mean, some
Oh,
people have this, but not everybody. So we included that. And then as just an extra, which we don't do this with every recipe, but we did it with this one, we also added a cookie cutter,
oh,
just for
cool.
extra fun. And we've done, let's see, let me look at some other ones. Like we did one around Valentine's Day for lavender cookies. And that was really interesting. And so we got food grade lavender. Yeah.
Oh my. So it smells, I
It
assume, like lavender because it is
yes,
lavender.
it
Isn't
smells
that
wonderful.
interesting? Probably the most exotic ingredient I ever got, maybe not quite, but the most exotic ingredient I ever got was rose water for something that was going to be a Persian recipe. And then the rose water sat in my spice cabinet for a very long time
Ages.
because it didn't come up as a useful thing. But cardamom
But
people could use in a variety of things.
right, well, something similar we did, which was this past summer, we did a strawberry hibiscus limeade.
Oh my.
And then what we included was the dried hibiscus.
Where did you get dried hibiscus?
Well, we ordered online.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is that something that was available at the farmer's market? And I
No.
hadn't noticed it. I
Yeah,
don't know.
usually everything we usually order it online. Sometimes we've picked it up like at say Whole Foods, but or Wegmans, but usually we order it online, especially because sometimes I'll come up with a recipe and I can't find um enough, or maybe I need like at least 2 cups so I can give everybody like 2 tablespoons. And it's just too expensive to get it in a regular walk-in store. So we'll order it from, Amazon and get our little discount.
Well, I have to say, now I know why this has gone on from month to month being as popular as it's been, because these are so interesting and exotic, and you've done the work. The hard part is to get the difficult ingredient, not to make it sometimes, but just to get all the ingredients lined up, and you've done that.
Exactly. So whatever the recipe is, so for, I'm just trying to get another one here. Like a fun one we did this summer was the Elvis cake to celebrate all those summer birthdays. So so this one didn't really have that, I think, what did we do? I think we just added for this one, we just added the baking powder, which everybody has. But I really wanted to do this recipe because I thought it was really fun. And so for the special thing we did is on the cake in the book, they had made a little card of the king, and
Oh,
you could cut
great.
it out and put it on the cake. And I'm like, it doesn't have like a super special ingredient, but we have to do this anyway. It's just too much fun not to.
Oh, I think anything Elvis is fun. I
Yeah, and then
actually have been to Graceland, and that was a lot of fun too.
for the fun fact sheet, I wrote I looked up all this information about birthdays. So it's just kind of, it's just something fun to do. And then whatever we give you, whatever ingredient we give you, then of course when you get the kit, you're responsible to get the other ingredients, and then obviously
Gwen, is
make
part of
the
the
item.
idea of this that adults can make these things with kids? Are these all recipes that are reasonable? I won't say they're super easy like kids' recipes, but are they things where an adult could work with a child to do it?
Oh, definitely. So it is geared towards adults like 18 plus, but we have people who come in and pick up the kits and they do it with their kids. So definitely you can do it with the whole family.
Oh, super duper. Can I take a moment here? This is probably out of time, but let's go back for a moment for those people who don't know what the grab and go bag is. I do know, but tell our audience, please, what the grab and go bag was for kids during COVID, because I thought that was brilliant when I first saw them.
Definitely. So you use any kind of a bag. Some people use paper bags. We use these plastic bags, which are reusable. And we just came up with a craft that could be done at home using the whatever ingredients they would have at home, like glue or paint, and then we would provide whatever supplies we could. Like usually the actual craft. Actually, I came up with something, copied it, maybe a fun fact sheet. I would also include maybe a seek and find or a coloring sheet, a fun sticker. Um, and then, we would have people register, or sometimes I would just put them out and it would be first come, first served. We would put it in a box in the lobby, and then people could just come in and just grab it and go. So grab and go. Um,
No,
and
this was
they
for
were
the
very
days.
popular.
This was for the days and weeks and months when people wouldn't come into the library itself, but just opening the front door and reaching into the vestibule or the lobby and grabbing a bag was an easy thing to do with or without a child. And I thought that was terrific. And I thought the idea that this would appeal to kids on so many sensory levels when they got home. Both there was a reading component, there was a doing component, there was a drawing component, and that was really a very neat thing.
Yeah, and sometimes some of the grab and go bags um were, they would pick them up and then do them, and I would pre-record like either a story time and then actually go through the craft so they could watch it at any time, and like when they woke up from their nap, because I didn't if I did it at like 11 o'clock in the morning, well, some kids might be getting ready for a nap. So I would pre-record it, post it on our Facebook page, and then that way the parents could watch it anytime. They could pause it, and then the kids could go along and do the craft with me while I was doing it in the recording.
Well, I love this. Not only do I love this project, but I love it that it appeals to and can be used by adults as well as kids with only, well, I'll call it small rejiggering to make it the one for the kids. But I love the fact that this is for adults. I mean, I like to cook and I would step into the library and get a grab and go for me. I think the lavender cake is a really neat idea. So I'm sorry to be giving you my prejudice, but I just think I've never made anything with lavender, so it would be particularly appealing. And I know there are other things coming up in December. Maybe you can give us a sort of short summary of 2 or 3 other projects coming up this month.
Oh, definitely.
December.
So a lot of Fridays we have what I just started about 2 months ago. I call Fun Fridays, and it's usually 2 or 3 Fridays a month from 3 to 5. They're like pop-in activities or crafts for kids. So for Friday, like December 1st, we're doing Hanukkah, and then on the 15th we're doing winter solstice, and then on the 22nd we're doing Christmas. We are also doing an adult craft night on the 11th. We're going to do snow people socks. And of
Okay,
course,
I'm sorry. I have to ask, what is a snow person sock or snow
so
people sock?
so we're not using old socks. We did buy brand new ones. So we're going to have white socks. We're going to fill the bottom with rice, and then fill tie something in the middle, and then fill the top part with stuffing. And then we're going to have all kinds of embellishments that you can make a snow person.
Oh, how cool. I like that. I like the idea that they're brand new white socks and they're all
Yeah.
going to be puffy and whatever. That's very cool.
Yeah, they're
And
not
tell
going to
me,
be old stinky socks.
No. I would not think that of you. I absolutely wouldn't. Okay, and tell us one more. We have time for at least one more.
Oh, definitely. So, on New Year's Eve, we're going to have a countdown to noon. We've had that for the last couple of years, and again, that is going to be a pre-recorded um, recording that we'll put on Facebook, and then we're going to have like a grab and go bag. We're going to make about 75, and that's going to be first come first serve. Probably that week, starting the week, right after Christmas, like probably on the 25th or 26th. We're going to put the bags out, and then when they're gone, they're gone.
Does anything happen since you're adjacent to the pool there, right?
Well, before the pandemic, we used to have the fire trucks come out, and then we would do they would drop like candy from the top. But
Oh.
with COVID, we just changed that, and we just haven't gotten back to doing it in person again yet. But hopefully, we will be able to do that, like maybe next year.
Because you have a unique sort of space there in terms of the long driveway and the fire trucks and so on. So use it in
Right.
different ways.
We also have the park. So
And
don't
the
forget
park,
that.
right.
We have the playground there, and we have many families that come to the playground. They hang out there for a while, and then they come into the library. So it's nice to be able to go back and forth.
Well, not only that, but in December, when it's cold out, they may want to come into the library where it's warm. In the summer, they come into the library where it's cool, and they might come into the library if they went swimming in the pool also, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so I mean, I've been there in the summer. I've been to that pool. It's a wonderful pool. Okay, wow, it's a lot going on this month. Is this a typical month for you?
Pretty much. Pretty much. I try to do as much as I can.
Okay, I always say when I go to your library, it feels like the Little Red Schoolhouse because it's the one big room and it just sort of enfolds you as you come in as a reader. There's the children's area, the teen area, and so on. But it's got that wonderful sense of everything being right here. And you're doing all these wonderful activities too.
I always say we're small but sweet.
Ah, that's terrific. Gwen, are you new to the library system? You're a newer person to me.
No, I've been with the system for 18 and a half years.
Oh, a long time. Definitely not a new person, but somebody who's been there. That's wonderful. Well, I have to say the library system is very lucky to have you. I really think that you do a terrific job. Thank you. And I wish you good luck with this month's project and a happy new year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us for this month's episode of The Library Show.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.